Hello. The 4 fast days that we have in remembrance of the destruction of Beit HaMikdash are there to remind us of what we are missing in a time that we don't have Beit HaMikdash with us. Our religious life is full. We have lots of mitzvot. We have Torah that we learn, tefillot, tzedakah. Why are we missing Beit HaMikdash? What does Beit HaMikdash add to our lives? What could it add to our lives that we are missing? Why should we be sad over the fact that we lost it? We lost it. It was a great loss. Am Yisrael was in despair. But since then, we've learned to cope with this loss and grew and have a wonderful, rich, religious life of Avodat Hashem. So I would like to point out one angle of looking at our religious life without Beit HaMikdash and what it is with Beit HaMikdash. As Ovdei Hashem, as worshippers of God, we deal a lot with what we do on our own. We are obligated in mitzvot. We are obligated in Talmud Torah. We deal with our religious experience, about our happiness, our personal happiness, about our personal excitement, our personal longing for connection with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Sometimes we have a larger scope and we look at our community and we think about how, as a community, we can worship HaKadosh Baruch Hu together. We look at the tefillot. We look at ourselves as a community that works to have lots of gemilut chesed, of loving kindness within us. We worship together. We daven together. We learn together. But that's only one community. Sometimes, rarely, we have a wider look at things. And we're not only with ourselves, not only with the community, but maybe with a larger spectrum of Am Yisrael. But also that doesn't include everyone. I can think about tefillot that had been in the past in the Kotel with many people of Am Yisrael, or the beginning of the Corona where they had tefillot of many people that gathered together on Zoom to pray together, worshiping Hashem as a large group of many of individuals, or maybe of one very big community, usually belonging to our own sect within Am Yisrael. Is there any place that we feel that we're standing with all of Am Yisrael together? That there is one person who represents everyone? That we are all there together, completely together, standing before Hashem? When we look at the Avodat in Beit HaMikdash, we see that there is a Korban HaTamid. And the Mishnah in Masechet Ta'anit asks, how can it be that one's sacrifice is brought and he's not standing there? Every day there was Korban HaTamid brought in Beit HaMikdash, morning and evening. And Am Yisrael isn't there. Not everyone got to Beit HaMikdash to stand there. The understanding is that this sacrifice belongs to everyone because it's a sacrifice of Klal Yisrael. And then the question is, how can it be that not all of Am Yisrael are there? And the answer that the Mishnah gives is that there were group that because that you can't have all of Am Yisrael standing every day in Beit HaMikdash, there were representatives of Am Yisrael standing there in Beit HaMikdash and in their cities and accompanying the sacrifice of the Tamid with Torah reading and with tefillot. What I want to point out is that there is a situation in which all of Am Yisrael is bringing a sacrifice. Knesset Israel is bringing a sacrifice. We're worshiping Hashem as a nation, not as individuals, not as communities, not as sects, but as one nation that is we're not only talking about all the people that live at one time, but throughout the generations. And every sacrifice of the Am Yisrael brought in Beit HaMikdash is for this entity, Am Yisrael. We don't have that when we don't have a Mikdash. Lots of individuals trying to get together. And in Beit HaMikdash, we had one sacrifice that represented all of Am Yisrael connecting to Ribono Shel Olam. יהי רצון שיבנה בית המקדש במהרה בימינו.